Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is 12 o'clock Newsbreak. In the local scene, the Albay Provincial Tourism, Culture and the Arts Office, PTCAO, initiated a training on the Filipino Brand of Service Excellence, FBSE, to the barangay officials or Barangay Mataas, members of the Albay climbing community and boatmen of Barangay Mataas on April 11, 2024. The said activity is in collaboration with the Department of Tourism Regional Office, DOT5, and LGU MTCAO Bakakay in preparation for the first ever Mataas National Crag Rock Climbing Festival that will be held in Bakakay, Albay on April 17 to 21. This FBSE training is primarily designed to develop and sustain a tourism workforce capable of providing excellent quality services based on the globally competitive standards to the thriving tourists and visitors in the upcoming event. In other story, the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology (PHIVOLCS) is poised to release the updated version of their lahar hazard map for Mayon volcano. According to Dr. Paul Carson B. Alanis, PHIVOLCS resident volcanologist, once the ongoing review of the map is completed, it will be promptly disseminated to concerned agencies. Dr. Alanis noted significant differences in the extent of areas that could be affected by heavy rainfall-induced lahars compared to the 2018 lahar hazard map of Mayon currently in use. Alanis explained that these areas have accumulated more deposits from the approximately 49 million cubic meters of volcanic materials discharged during the 2023 eruption, which flowed into Misi, Bunga, and Basud Gullies. ABSEMO reiterated the need for this updated map to prepare for potential lahar as the rainy season approaches or if La Nina conditions occur in the country. In other news, Masbate City Jail, MCJ, and the local office of the Department of Information and Communication Technology, DICT, provided detainees with access to computers to learn digital literacy skills since digital tools represent opportunities for employment and hope beyond the prison walls. Senior Inspector Ramon Cabug III, the MCJ warden, and Zaikar Ong, the DICT provincial head for Masbate, shared how their institutions prepare people deprived of liberty or PDL for the digital economy and improve rehabilitation services with technology. On the other hand, the desktops are reserved for learning purposes and have limited applications. Wi-Fi or internet access are also restricted due to security reasons. In the national scene, the Chinese embassy in Manila on Thursday, April 11, denied the alleged presence of Chinese sleeper cells in the Philippines. In a statement, the embassy said it opposes xenophobic sentiments by way of accusations that are malicious and groundless. The embassy also claimed that someone is behind the allegations. The embassy said China has never invaded the Philippines and called out other nations for allegedly interfering and stirring division. It urged the Philippines to engage in dialogues to manage differences. The Chinese embassy issued the statement in response to media questions following the arrest of 4 Chinese nationals in Palawan, who were allegedly engaged in issuing fraudulently acquired Philippine government-issued IDs, including passports with special residence retire visas, SRRV. Senator Nancy Binay disclosed out that Chinese SRRV applicants are 35 years old, considered as a soldier's age, and urged tighter vetting procedures for retirement visa applications. In other story, Pasig Regional Trial Court Branch 159 has issued warrants of arrest against Kingdom of Jesus Christ leader Apollo Kibuloy and his 5 co-accused in a case for violation of Section 4A of RA 9208, the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act of 2003. The section penalizes the recruitment into and facilitation of trafficking, including those done under the pretext of domestic or overseas employment or training or apprenticeship for the purpose of prostitution, pornography, sexual exploitation, forced labor, slavery, involuntary servitude, or debt bondage. Kibuloy, whom a Davao court last week also ordered arrest for child abuse and sexual abuse cases, has denied the allegations and accused the Marcos administration and the U.S. government of conspiring against him. In other news, the transport groups Manibela and Piston on Thursday, April 11, announced a transport strike that will start on Monday, April 15, to protest the looming deadline for the consolidation of the franchises under the Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board have said the April 30 deadline to join the transport cooperatives cannot be extended further. Franchise consolidation is meant to lead the way to the eventual replacement of traditional jeepneys with newer minibuses. Some transport groups have opposed the program because of the cost of the units and of the requirements of registering and running a transport cooperative. They said the program will run single-unit operators off the road and that commuters still patronize the traditional jeepneys because they are convenient and the fares are affordable. And in the news outside the country, long simmering tensions between China and its neighbors were in the spotlight on Thursday, April 11, as leaders of the U.S., Japan, and the Philippines gather at the White House to push back on Beijing's stepped-up pressure on Manila in the disputed South China Sea. U.S. President Joe Biden will announce new joint military efforts and infrastructure spending in the former American colony as he hosts Philippines President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida in Washington for the first of its kind trilateral summit. The Philippines and China had several maritime run-ins last month that included the use of water cannon and heated verbal exchanges. The disputed center on the second Thomas Shoal, home to a small number of Filipino troops stationed on a warship that Manila grounded there in 1999 to reinforce its sovereignty claims. In other story, Russia staged a major missile and drone strike on Ukrainian energy infrastructure early Thursday, April 11, damaging substations and power facilities in 5 regions and causing emergency power cuts for at least 200,000 people, Kiev officials said. Russia last month renewed its long-range aerial assaults on Ukraine's energy system more than 2 years since the full-scale invasion. The latest attack used 82 missiles and drones, the military said. Ukrainian stocks of air defenses and artillery have dwindled as assistance from the West slowed down, and a major U.S. aid package has been blocked by Republicans in Congress. And finally, in the news outside the country, some 200 Myanmar military personnel withdrew to a bridge connecting the border town of Mewadi in Thailand on Thursday, April 11. following days-long assault in the area by anti-junta rebels, according to an ethnic armed group spokesman and local media. Myanmar's military-run government is battling armed rebel groups on several fronts and has suffered a string of defeats in frontier areas. The retreat of junta troops in Mewadi, which is adjacent to Thailand's Muscat, signals the potential loss of another key border trading outpost that has direct highway access to parts of central Myanmar. On Thursday, around 200 fleeing soldiers were gathered at the border crossing into Thailand, as said Tao Ni, the spokesperson for the Karen National Union (KNU), an anti-junta group leading the assault on Mewadi. And that's all for the 12 o'clock news break, April 12, 2024. And we'll be right back next week for more news updates. And thanks to our 12 o'clock news break writer, Francia May Porras, and on the technical side, Chad Bobbies, and our Provincial Information Officer, Attorney Mary Luduca Castillo, under the supervision of our Governor, Attorney Edsel Grexlegman. I am Greg Hallare. Thank you for subscribing.